guys, let's get right back into it. So we've got our figure here, and we've got this rotary cutter here for later, and we've got an X-Acto type blade with a couple of different options: a flat-headed blade and then more of a pointed blade for doing some more precision cuts. All this stuff is going to be useful in kind of excavating into the figure, and this is our stem here. Everything just kind of screws into it just like a regular X-Acto blade. First, we want to remove the limbs plus the butterfly cuffs from inside the shoulders. Really just want to get everything out of the way that's could get damaged while cutting these holes into the figure. So we want to get the head off, and then the cape, of course, you got that big knot of plastic there in the back. Get a good little grip on both sides of the torso and the cape and just get to ripping. But basically we're kind of going right after the clavicle area, and we want to cut all the way through into the shoulder socket. So we're going to use our flat-headed blade, but you just want to kind of make that cut and go all the way through into the shoulder socket, and just nice and square right along the neckline of the costume, essentially. And make sure you get a nice clean cut all the way through, and you pull that guy out. And then you want to go back and make a second cut just a hair further back from that first cut. So that way you're just getting like a nice little 1/16 to an 1/8 inch incision there. So you make those two parallel cuts right there at the clavicle. Kind of finish that dimensional cut there and get those guys knocked out. And then once you've got those kind of squared away, then you would come back with the pokey blade. There we go, just kind of wiggle it in there. And then I have this pick, also from Dollar Tree. You're going to find all these things in the same square foot hanging in your Dollar Tree craft section. I'm using it to just kind of get in there and push that plastic out from the underside. And you're still going to probably need some finishing cuts, because all these cuts you're making are essentially blind and directly into the plastic. So you might have to go in there a couple times and just kind of push around with the knife and just kind of loosen the plastic up. And again, always safety first, all together. If I'm helping you do this, please be safe. Anyway, so basically, if you know that the tip end of that pokey tool can fit through there, likely you've got just enough space to fit the wires and fabric through those holes and tuck them in nice and tight. So, got all that taken care of, and here we go, grown-ass man, that is you. This came in the mail to you from me, and you got a nice fabric cape here with a nice S permanently affixed to the cape, but essentially you get the cape wrapped around the neckline there and kind of get your shoulders spoken for as far as shaping the wire. And then once that's kind of in place, you find your spot where you want to bend the wire back, which is right across the middle of the S, essentially. And so you fold one side back, come back and mirror that on the other side. And then so you want to pinch those wires nice and tight, just kind of bunching up the fabric onto the wire. And something that's really nice about the wire having kind of a loop quality to it on the inside is you can take that same poking and picking tool and get in there and kind of assist that wire getting pulled through, so that way you're not just cramming it all in through the top side. You can kind of get some assistance there. So at this point, the cape is there. It's not really needing any help staying in place. So at this point, you can take the butterfly cuffs, shove them right back in there, man. If you wanted to, you could glue these guys in place. A little dab will do you right on the end of a toothpick, and just kind of saturate the ends of the fabric on the inside of that socket. And then you'd put that butterfly cuff back in. And either way, with or without glue, it holds pretty well with those butterfly cuffs. So now getting the arms back in place, looking nice and tight. And then you can kind of, as you can see, that wire gives you the ability to kind of control the shape, how it drapes over the shoulders. And pop that head back on, and voila, y'all. Superman has a nice, clean, wired cape. I think we're just kind of doing a quick little posing session here to really show it off here at the desk. And there we go, fellas. Just kind of pinch the wire into place how you like it, and there it goes. Zoom. Alright, but not to say we're finished. Because of the way that the cape goes through the neck, you will end up with a little bit of excess right there in the middle where the cape is at full length, and a little bit of right there at the bottom. So what you can do is, this comes back to that rotary cutter, bend the wires out of the way And now you would take that rotary cutter and just kind of knock off that shape down there at the bottom. So we just take this handy tool right here, also $1 from Dollar Tree, and just kind of gently just kind of mow right across that thing and level it off nice and clean. This is a pretty tight little cape kit. They look fantastic, and of course we make a variety of these for several different styles of Superman figure, even for you customizers looking for a different look for your figure or a different type of figure that they don't make. Likely we make a cape for it. So definitely check us out on eBay, and we appreciate y'all dropping by for this tutorial. I hope it doesn't go by too fast, but the beautiful thing about YouTube is you can watch it as many times as you want.